What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the stream. It's been a while. My apologies. Oh, it's been a crazy time here. Hurt my back, threw it out. Muscular in origin, not disc this time, thankfully. At least as far as I've been able to tell. If you're ever not sure if you've hurt your back, if it's a spine or a disc issue, really simple. Put your chin to your chest. If it hurts like hell, then it's muscular. If it doesn't hurt whatsoever, then it's a disc and you have bigger problems on your hands. So, yeah. So, what's up, Hold Your Fire? Good to see you. So, I've been nursing that for like the past, since Sunday. So, excuse me, that's been a real pain in the butt. But I wanted to stream tonight because I got my Brook Sega Saturn and Dreamcast converter, the Wingman converter. I had no idea how to use this thing because it's a Taiwan company, and the typical attitude over there is like, here's your product. How do you use it? Here's your product. Go fuck yourself. You bought it. Just figure it out. It's not my problem, Gaijin. It's like, great, okay, perfect. It's like, okay, so there's like almost no documentation on this online for it anywhere other than how to update it. But basically this allows you to theoretically plug in just about any new modern controller and have it work on your old retro system. So this one is compatible with the Sega Saturn and the Dreamcast. So I'm going to try it out. I got 2 fight sticks, and let's give it a go. Let's try see if I can figure this out, how this works. Switch over to our lovely color grade screen. Go from here. Let's see. Desktop audio, there we go. It's ready! What's up, Ronnie? Alright, this looks way too dark. Let's get this brightness changed. Take a second to hopefully it should be popping up a little bit brighter. Not a lot of playing supposed before. Cool. Check my cables themselves. There we go. I probably switch on that too. Alright. Let's see. Alright, this is a good sign already. I have my PS3 fight stick plugged in and it seems to be working automatically. Good sign. What buttons do what? No idea. Okay, that seems to work. That's good. Starting off some X-Men versus Street Fighter. Start button works. This is good. Alright. That's not good. Unless it's automatic. Seems I might have a blank spot already on my R2, so we'll try and see what happens.
Ready. Fight!
Okay, so it's reading it as one of the 3 buttons. Now keep in mind I'm using a PS3 stick right now, so it's the Mad Catz Fight Stick Pro. So I'm guessing that's probably... I don't know what that's going to be. Can't change it to nothing. Okay, so it's basically reading it as R, I think. Yeah, there is a way you can reconfigure the buttons for this, but I don't know how. And like I said, support for this is pretty crappy, to be honest. That's like the only downside so far. Converter homepage. Mapping. World's smallest PDF file. And it's in Mandarin, that's not helping. Yeah, so this is like a major blow against buying a Brook Converter so far. I mean, it seems supposed to be working so far. Like I said, it's screwed up on one button. There's supposed to be a way I know you can like redo this here, but their customer service just fucking blows. There's no other polite way to say it, because they just don't have any information. It's just like, hey, how do I know if my converter works? Well, should be working with stick have you. You know, it's really bad English. Super converter. It's like you have to go like hunting for the one you have and hope it's in there. Half the site's in English, half of it's in Mandarin. Their website's also a nightmare to navigate, so this is absolutely insane. Good God. Alright, Saturn Dreamcast. Okay, I finally stumbled across it by accident. So we're getting somewhere. Manual, okay. We look at this, please. Firmware update guide. Just tells you how to do the firmware. Like I said, so this is a big problem that it's causing an issue here. So I'm going to unplug the PS3 fight stick I have going right now. Or I try the Xbox 360 one. Supposed to adapt on the fly. We'll see. And Nimix, with the subscribing for 27 months. Good lord. Once again, denying himself 2 tasty candy bars a month for our amusement. Amusement, really, but good to see you. Sorry that we're just taking a look at the screen here, this wonderful pause screen while I try to figure this out. I got a converter that's basically supposed to plug in like any new modern controller, and it will work with your old systems, the Sega Saturn or the Sega Dreamcast. I started off with the PS3 stick plugged in, and it's just not quite working right. It's reading as turbo now. Maybe. We'll see. Okay, it looks like it might be working fine now. Okay, that's good, that's good. Let's adjust the resolution here, fit up the screen a little bit better. It's not quite centered right. Like you can lock it into place one way or the other. Screw you trying to make it smooth. What version you play? There's something like redneck verse stuff. What? I have no idea what you're talking about right now, to be honest. Mortal Kombat knockoff. No, still don't. I don't know, there's just too many games and weird crap I play. I literally have no idea. Can you give me a little bit more hints about it? You say Mortal Kombat, are we talking about playstyle, or is it like digitized graphics, or red hair? Was it like a Chinese game? A lot of Asian actors? Okay, if it's that, then it's probably Dong Dong Never Die. Yeah, exactly. Hold your fire and I at the same time. Yeah, it's like redneck stuff. What the hell? Yeah, exactly. I was like, what? Threw me for a loop. Alright, so it looks like we're in business here with that. That's good. There is a redneck game. It was made in the 90s. It wasn't a fighting game, however, but it was called Redneck Rampage. It was like a first-person kind of Doom, Hexen type knockoff type game. Oh yeah, Redneck Rampage was funny. My sister actually bought a copy of that way back in the day. I think they re-released it not too long ago, to be honest. You'd have like moonshine you'd pick up and you get like drunk and stuff, and, like the screen would get really blurry and your controls would reverse, all sorts of stuff. Oh, they had the trilogy on GOG. They made a trilogy? Okay, that's crazy. That's scary to think of. Yeah, well, so far it seems like the sticks is pretty, you know, it doesn't seem like there's any delay or anything that I can really kind of tell. So I'm using my Xbox 360 stick right now. Yeah, it's pretty responsive. Spermination. Is that kind of like a beat 'em and eat 'em type deal? Like the 2600 days?
Let's go.
Sperm eliminating.
Yes. Optic blast. Optic
Basically, you just like hit somebody in the nuts, or. Okay, so like this seems to be reading inputs still ridiculously too fast. Let me try unplugging this. Back in. A lot of times I'm just like trying to hit the button like once, and it's like double tapping it. It's like, okay. You destroy them as they race towards the egg. No, it's still just going ridiculously fast. So that's one kick, and you do it. You like hit just a little too fast. It's like you just go flip into both of them without trying really. Alright, so how do we get... Let's see, this is... Look at the box. Wingman converter. Okay, so what the fuck is the view button? So this is the type of like bullshit nonsense you have to go through if you're trying to find like a type of support for this product. Let me show you real quick. Wait a second. Desktop. Here we go. Okay, so managed to track down this page. I mean, like I said, you can barely get to any of this. You have to like go through different Google searches. You can't get to any of this shit like through their website itself. It does not exist in any of these links up here. You have to Google search this and get directly into it. So I already did the firmware update. Did that earlier. So it says add arcade mode. Okay, so this is trying to link me back to where I don't want to be. Golden X, the dull. Not dual, the dull. Okay. Hold down select and circle at the same time to switch to arcade mode. This is assuming a lot of shit right now. This is like refer to product information page for mapping information. Okay, so then you go down here and you have eventually corresponding buttons list. So I have an Xbox 360 controller. So I'm guessing circle would be B. Does it also tell you, like, hit the mode button? I'm like, what's the mode button? Where would that be? It's like, it's all sorts of, like, just convoluted, just nonsense trying to navigate through this stuff. It's insane. Yeah, so switch the Saturn, input mode on the Saturn, press the View plus A button. The hell is View? There's a View underneath an Xbox One. I'm guessing that's maybe the back button. It'd have to be the back button for that. Headlights permanently on, okay. So it's technically... Okay, so we got green flashing. See what any of this does. This is like the nonsense that I'm going through trying to get this thing to kind of work right. It would be, guy, if I can get this working right here at the converter. So let's see. That's not working right. See, the problem is that it's reading like double turbo inputs. I don't know how to turn that shit off. And these directions were like translated from like, I swear, from like Mandarin to Latin to German to Latin, Mandarin to Japanese and to English. It's just like all over the place.
Optic blast.
Alright, so one other thing I can do to test is to see if it's actually like this or not. Is fire up an emulator real quick.
This is X-Men versus Street Fighter.
Here you go!
Alright, so give me a second here. Where is this at here? I think I have it set underneath as arcade. Fucking OBS, come on, knock it off. Okay, so I know it's not the right size window. That's fine. Okay, it's a little bit slower, so... I mean, this isn't like on turbo mode, but... Try putting it on turbo.
Ready. Fight.
Okay, so then it does move that fast. Okay, because I was thinking, like, it still does, like, read the buttons really fast, but it just does that for this game in general. Okay, so I just want to make sure. So it's like, I didn't remember it moving this fast for, like, the double kicks for Cyclops, so... Okay, so that solves that. So I just want to make sure, like, if I have a defective product, I like to return it right away type deal. Alright, so let's get back to Saturn. There we go. World needs Betty White versus Street Fighter. I agree. Betty White versus everybody.
X-Men versus Street Fighter.
Okay, so let me unplug that from the computer. To converter.
Power drain.
This is X-Men versus Street Fighter.
By the way, I'm not really sure how long I'm going to be streaming because I screwed up my back, so I'm in a lot of pain for that. Like I said, I got this today. I really wanted to test it out, so here we are. Yeah, it's all muscle. The good news, though, is that I do start my new job, or my job period, on Monday. So I've just been resting, iced it for the first 3 days or so, because it happened back on Sunday. And then, doing the heating pad since. See, I'll be adjusting my time periods for when I stream for sure now, because it's like, I'm going to be working like an 8 to 5 job, literally, so. So instead of like starting at 9 o'clock at night, I'd probably be starting like maybe like 6:30, 7 o'clock. Money's gonna be good. But like, it's not as much as you wanted, like originally. It's like, I'm just starting off, it's fine. It's like, I know how negotiations work for like pay and salary. I've been through this before. And missed.
Here you go.
Yes. Optic blast. Optic blast. Jesus Christ.
Aerial raid.
Power drain.
I think we'll play a game here in just a second. It's gonna, a lot of people are gonna really enjoy. Everybody loves this game. I'll be playing it a little bit. Sega Saturn game. Also came out for the PS1.
Optic blast.
It's been a while. I've forgotten like I've forgotten Cyclops' combos. All right, so let's try a different game. Nope, it's all Sega Saturn tonight, buddy. This means now I'll be able to, basically with this I can play all the fighting games I wanted to do instead of trying to do it on like the fight pad. Like the controller for the Sega Saturn is pretty good. It's one of the best ones. But like I said, there's a lot of like just the thumb movements and stuff like that, with the arthritis in my hands, it doesn't really work too well, so that's why I jumped on buying this for like about, it cost me about $55 total. It allows me to go through and use my fight sticks on the Sega Saturn or, you know, anything else there. Let's see. This is a game everybody loves. Feminists don't love it, though. The crazy feminists, I should say. Basically, don't let, like, Nina Sarkeesian look, basically. I do have my Pseudo Saturn plugged in right now, but I am playing on real discs, so... Hey, it's Fico. What's up? Good to see ya. Just in time for the best fighting game ever. So I plan on doing, you know, more Sega Saturn stuff. I want to do a Dreamcast stream as well. Definitely want to do a lot of, I'll get some Guilty Gear streams in too, especially with Strive coming out pretty soon, a couple months. Converter's like a little twitchy. I mean, you have to like really fight to understand. There's like no guides. The only guide you have to download through their crappy site is like just how to update the firmware. That's it. You don't get a user manual. You don't get anything else. So it's up to you to search through the internet to try to find backdoors. They have like different, like I found this humongous, I need to bookmark this here, like this page about like how to do all the buttons and turbo resets. You can't get through that through their main page at all. There's no way to. You have to Google search in order to get into it. It's like a back door. It's really bizarre. But supposedly this is supposed to work with every controller you can throw at it, like PlayStation 4, Nintendo Switch, the PlayStation 5 controllers will work on this now. Yeah, pretty much. Exactly. The company is located in Taiwan. There's a lot of what I call English all over places where they try to translate as best they can, just mess things up. So there's a lot of weird stuff like that all over the place. But they didn't really hire anybody who was like a native English speaker or fluent in English to double check stuff. So you get lots of weird stuff. Like they just announced that they supported on the Sega Saturn Golden Axe the Dull instead of the Dual DUEL. They have DULL instead. Put that on all their official stuff. I actually have that game. I'm looking at it right now. It's like rails right next to where I had Dead or Alive. Bouncing breast, we will keep that on. Punch, kick, hold. I have no idea what buttons are, but we're gonna rock it anyway. Oh yes, if you've never seen this game, the bounciness is like disturbing. Like Itagaki does not understand how breasts work, but it's part of the charm. Fighting Order Arcade. Two was a lot of fun. So now this does also work on the Dreamcast. I plan on doing a stream with that too. Just playing different fighting games on there, which I do have Dead or Alive 2. I'll be playing that, some Street Fighter 3. I have Guilty Gear X, I think, came out on Dreamcast. Do I prefer original Dead or Alive, or do I prefer original Dead or Alive 2 or Ultimate version on the Xbox? I gotta say, I streamed the update. I have the like original Xbox version, Like, you know, the one that came out for not the 360, but like the Xbox. I have to say, that actually really blew me away. That, if I had to pick between the Dreamcast version or that version, I'd pick the Xbox version, to be honest. It's got like 16:9 widescreen support. It upscales beautifully. I mean, it doesn't have the interlacing problems that the PlayStation 2 version had, so it's like nice and crisp. It just looks really amazing. You have all the different stages and stuff. It's like the ultimate version. It really is the ultimate version, as it's called. No joke, really is. So the way it looks is really, it's phenomenally stunning. The only game actually I have not played in the series is, gosh, what is it? Dead or Alive 4. Never played it. I didn't own it on the 360, still don't own it on the 360. If I'm out and about and I see it somewhere cheap, I'll definitely pick it up. It's the only one I haven't played. I have not played Dead or Alive 6. You're not missing anything. It was not fun. I have it on PC. It's not that great. Three, I didn't think it was too bad. 5 was alright, but 6 was just... You normally have like a three-way hold system they introduced in Dead or Alive 2, which is where you have like high, mid, and low parries where you can catch stuff and like reverse it. They decided for Dead or Alive 6, we're going to put it in a four-way. It's like, so you have like 4 different levels to try to, like, you have a 25% chance to have a 33% chance instead of like catching a parry. And it was just, it kind of wrecked things out. I have a move list. Command list, I do. Okay. Back, forth. Hold and punch, okay. Oh, wrong one. That's okay, we're gonna play through arcade real quick. But yeah, 6 kind of looked alright, but they started like, it wasn't fun. It had the same problem that I felt that Soul Calibur 6 did. It just wasn't fun. It's like, okay, we're gonna have all these different mechanics in, so you have like all these comebacks and stuff, and like instant kills. I didn't find it fun at all, to be honest. Yeah, everyone's just parrying instead of fighting. Exactly. Oh! Yeah, so this is actually one of the few games that uses the Saturn's high definition mode, I guess you'll call it. That's a pause button? What? What? Excuse me? What did I hit? Okay. I don't know when it bumped. So on the OSSC, like upscan converter, this causes problems because it changes resolution for loading screens and menus and everything else. Whereas I'm using the RetroTINK 2X, it just goes and plays it through. But this actually runs in a like higher resolution. Like I think this is a 460 by 480 or whatever it was. If Saturn Members was here, he'd be like, "Dude, it's this resolution." I'd be like, "Yes, it is." I'm sorry, are you okay? Girl, you just beat her into a coma. What are you talking about?
Ready?
Did you say shit? Yep. He's like, shit. I'm gonna translate that from Japanese just for you. He said, shit. Dude, okay. So I will break down what just happened right now. I started off with a parry. He parried the parry. I parried the parry again, which he then countered. Only the computer would do something that insane. Oh yeah, I know. Wow, that damage. I actually got to play this in the arcade. Oh, I thought I was gonna do the Izumi drop on me. Or Izuna drop, Izumi. If he pulls out the Izuna on you, it's like, it's massive. I'm trying to remember all the moves. This is, like, Dead or Alive 2 and this game, Dead or Alive 1, play radically different from each other. 2 really expanded out the moveset. Like, a little more natural. Yeah, exactly. Dead or Alive 2, like, the Izuna drop was completely busted. If you could pull that off, oh man, you just wrecked everybody. Speaking of wrecking everybody, Jan Lee, good god. Yeah, Danger Zones, I think, are something that I don't think they ever came back in the series, to be honest. Oh, yeah, I was like 60% damage right there. 50. Okay, so apparently, occasionally it's registering certain button combinations as a pause. Problem. I woozed. She apologized to her brother. That means they're totally banging. It's Japan. Alright, let's see what else we gotta test through real quick. Now, I want to say I did invite Carmen to come over for the stream. She was unfortunately, she legitimately had plans tonight. Her daughter had a school activity, so she was not able to come over. She regrets to inform me, everybody, that she's sorry that she wasn't able to come over and play Revolution X. Seeing as that is her absolute favorite game ever made, especially the Sega Saturn version, was like, she's like, oh yeah, I love that. When can I come over to your house and play that? She just loved Revolution X on the Saturn. She's like, it's the best port ever. I've never heard or seen the arcade. I know it's gonna be the best thing ever. Play about probably two or three more games. I'll play things I haven't really played before. Now I'm not playing this right now. I'm gonna play a different game here for a second. But I have the Real Bout Fatal Fury Best Collection, which has, gosh, what is it? Real Bout, The Final Battle, Geese Howard Must Go, and Real Bout Special. I've never played Real Bout Special. I have a Real Bout 2 for my MVS machine, my actual Neo Geo arcade machine, which I love. It's my favorite one. That's why I spent the money buying that actual part. I've never played just the first Real Bout, like Real Bout Special, or the first one. I have them for the Sega Saturn. I just never played them. Go figure. Now, I can't remember. Really? I don't have enough memory? Okay, that's fine. Whatever. I think I originally had like a bad burn of this because this game has jumped from $80 to like 300 plus overnight a couple of years ago. And no real reason for it. Just everyone decided like, hey, let's just increase the price like crazy. It's like, oh, that's perfect. So I think I originally had a bad burn of this disc. They were like kind of locking up after a while. I'm not sure if I reburned it with a different like download of it or not. So this is why when people tell me like the Sega Saturn is like too expensive to get into, the Saturn itself is not that expensive to buy a system. Get yourself a pseudo Saturn. Get yourself some blank CDRs. There's guides online on how to burn them, burn the games, and just burn them and play them. I mean, like, seriously, Sega's not getting this money anymore. You can't legally buy these things. Just have fun with it. I mean, just do it that way. I mean, by all means, don't think you have to, like, some people are like, oh, I'm anti-piracy, I have to do this. It's like, no, screw that. Especially like certain games like this, it's like, it's ridiculously expensive to buy. It's like, just go and just burn it, you know? Get yourself a pseudo Saturn. Or if you really want, get yourself a satiator or a CD, or was it Satator or Satator or whatever they call it. The it plugs into the back video card expansion, which is basically an optical disc emulator, so you can load it full of an SD card, full of your games, and play it off that. You'll still need a 4 megabyte RAM card, but a pseudo Saturn takes care of all that. So. Now I'm gonna be honest. That Street Fighter Alpha 3 is not my favorite Alpha game. Alpha 2 is. Yeah, exactly. Or play it on an emulator. Anyway, I mean, emulation's gotten really good. Yeah, Alpha 3 Max on PSP, I've heard, is like the best version of this game, period, because it's got like Eagle from the original Street Fighter 1. He's back into it. I think it's a 4-button fighter, I think. It's been a while. I have it on for the PSP emulator, but I've never really done it. Let's try training mode real quick, just see how this plays in. Yeah, Ronnie's got NVIDIA Shield. It's like an emulation powerhouse. That's what Saturn version ended up all these people. Evil Ryu, Wei Long, DJ, T-Hawk, Relay. Use RetroArch and the DuckStation core. The DuckStation actually really impressed me with like how good of an emulator that is. It's the first emulator I've come across that can actually play Fox Hunt from start to finish without any problems.
Go for broke.
I think I have the bad burn disc. Yeah. Yeah, okay, so that answers this question. But was it Redream? I'm betting you probably run that. Redream is another one. It's like I'm probably gonna spend the $5 just so you can like do the upscaling on it. But it's just it just works beautifully. It's like it runs on like really low end systems. Perfect.
Select your character.
Ooh.
Select your fighting style.
I have a Sanshiro. Yeah, it's not bad. I can't remember what the Visms do on this, like Z, X, Z, and V. I can't remember what they do. It's been far too long since I played Alpha 3, to be honest. Like, it's not my favorite. It was like the most broken of the Alpha games for sure. But Street Fighter Alpha 2 is like my absolute favorite.
Beat 'em up, guys. Triumph or die.
Yeah, so for whatever reason, it's like reading... It's randomly reading one of the button inputs as start. See if I can identify it, or because I get beat up by Dan. Yep, dramatic battle! It's great. This is another thing they added in for the Japanese version. This never came out in the States, this one. But it did get ported to the Dreamcast. I remember playing on the Dreamcast, but I was like, okay, cool, it seems to be arcade perfect, and just I never bought it. If I did buy it, I think I sold it, because like I said, just Alpha 3 just wasn't my jam.
Select your character. Select your fighting style.
Yeah, so Dramatic Battle is a lot of fun. There is a way you can also do it in Street Fighter Alpha 2. And I think I mean, we're talking like years ago when like GGPO was still a thing before it transitioned over to like to Fightcade and stuff. My friend Pat and I actually were playing online. We were doing Dramatic Battle together, which was a lot of fun. Because we had like, you know, come up with like strategies on the fly, like, okay, I'm gonna do this here, you do that, you know. It was a lot of fun. Okay, this is bad. You need to get... Oh my god, I can do... Wait, what was that, an air throw? What? I remember when Alpha countered. Whoa, yeah, let's say, what is that? That's right, I have a headbutt. I forgot to give Ken a whole bunch of weird moves in this game. Turducken! Turducken! Oh, shenanigans from the Blanca, man. I also had the original Street Fighter collection. Like I said, it's the Japanese version because, once again, the American version is now ridiculously expensive to own. It has like the, it's got Super Turbo on there. It has Street Fighter Alpha 2 Dash, which is like a rebalanced version. I think it's one also, I think they have added in Evil Ryu to it. And I think they also put in Cammy as part of the verse mode too. It's been a while since I played it, so I don't remember. I'm just getting rocked. Where did he plug that in? Did he just put that up his butt? To make a smoothie? I thought this was a Christian game. Right, it's retro. Why are they fighting a idyllic neighborhood out of a Studio Ghibli film? That's a good question. I'm gonna blame steroid rage, definitely. It was show and tell day. Principal got really upset with Blanca showing him where he was plugging it in. Yeah, let's go fight outside. So it's like their own Jerry Springer show, really. Yeah, so if you're watching right now for high-end Street Fighter shenanigans, this is not the channel for it. But hello anyway. It's always good to see everybody here. I'm just messing around. I bought a Brook Converter. So I'm using a Xbox 360 fight stick for this. There is almost no documentation for it. Sorry, I accidentally didn't mean to hit the microphone there. Sorry if that blew out anybody's eardrums. This is the best case of documentation I found for it, that you can't get to it on the site. You have to Google search and work your way back to it. But it seems to be somewhat stable. I'm still getting random start button presses. I don't understand why. I'm going to have to troubleshoot it further, but I'm just going through and just testing it out tonight, playing different games to see what happens. So, next stream, I really do want to play some Guilty Gear games, to be honest. I really want to get back. I need to finish playing Nier Automata. I'm almost getting close to the end of the A route on that. And then I do want to do some Guilty Gear games as well. Just kind of go through and play some of that. Even though I'm trash at them, I do enjoy them. Maybe do some Dreamcast fighting games as well. Okay, Relento has changed a little bit since Alpha 2. Like I said, I used to make him in Alpha 2. I'm like, I have no idea what's going on here in this one in Alpha 3. I be confused. Yeah, that record still works. That's good. Okay, so they changed to Dragon Punch Kid. Got it. Okay. This is one of the few times you're going to see actually a loading screen for the Sega Saturn for a 4MB game, which is really unusual. I mean, it is loading a lot. This is still pretty impressive. I would have... If the Dreamcast hadn't come out when it did... By the way, I'm not going into a conspiracy theory oh, the Sega Saturn died because the Dreamcast came out, which it did, but it could have, if they had kept the Saturn alive one more year in Japan, it would have saved the company. No, nothing like that. None of that nonsense. But I was really wondering what Marvel vs. Capcom would have ended up being like on the Sega Saturn. I think it would have been really pushing the limits. What is Final Battle? Let me tell you, I have heard a lot of just straight up nonsense from people about how Sega would have survived had they done this or that. It's they were doomed. And, the thing that makes me crack up a lot is when people I say Bernie Stoller and he killed Sega, he killed. It's no, he didn't. They were doomed when he walked in. Exactly, they were done before he even got into the door. But he says the part the Saturn's not our future, and people are like, oh, that killed the Sega Saturn, how dare he? Like, okay, keep in mind when he said this, late 1997, what came out a couple months later in Japan? The Sega Dreamcast. It was like the next system coming out. It's like the Saturn was not their future, the Dreamcast was. It's like, there you go. Oh yeah, it's like the Saturn, like Sega failing, it was a decade and a half in the making. I mean, they had like 6 systems out at once. Japan was not talking to America, vice versa, bad mistakes here and there. It's just like so many things just compounded into the glorious train wreck that pretty much made them into a software development company in the end. But yeah, it's not one thing that did it. Genovi put out a great video, because another thing I'd heard too is like people saying that piracy for the Sega Dreamcast killed Sega. I'm like, what? And he goes through and breaks it down. He's like, here's all the numbers for sales and adoption rates that they needed to keep alive. And they were doomed before the Dreamcast ever came out. So it's like I said, he broke it down like all sorts of like numbers and facts. It was a really good video. I definitely enjoyed it. It's like, thank you. Because also another thing too, like I didn't know about. Oh yeah, I forgot about that super. It just wipes you. I didn't know about like burning Dreamcast games until like 2003, 2004. And you had to have like a special type of like overburner CD drive to do it a lot of times. Like I actually happen to have one of those ones. But yeah, it's like the Sega Pro-King was not one thing. One of the other things that really kind of drove me nuts about like, well, the Dreamcast failed because they didn't put a DVD drive in there. I'm like, okay, how expensive were DVD burner, like DVD drives? You have to think about DVD players back in 1998. How expensive was that? People usually don't know. They're thinking like modern terms or years later when they drop to be really cheap. The problem is that in 1997, DVD players were about 500 to 600 United States dollars. In 98, they dropped to around 400 bucks. So they'd have to incorporate that into the cost of the Dreamcast, which would have been a 3DO price. So basically, you'd have to buy a Dreamcast for around 600, 700 bucks. It's just like, yeah, the Dreamcast failed because it didn't have a Blu-ray drive. It didn't have a zip drive internal, like, you know, all sorts of crazy stuff. Got a Saturn last month. Any game recommendations? Almost everything Japanese, Ryan. Get yourself a pseudo Saturn. If you don't have a ODE or like optical disc emulator or whatever, you know, basically remove out the drive and stuff. Get yourself a pseudo Saturn. You can either make it yourself or you can buy one off of eBay like I did for around $40. And get yourself some CDRs and burn games. That's the best way to do it, because the pseudo Saturn basically lets you play the backup games there. It's a 4 megabyte cart as well. So, I mean, there were a lot of great games that just came out in Japan that never came out here in the States. And I mean, it's all about what you want to play, really. There's like a lot of good fighting games. Buying backups are cheap. You don't even buy backups. Screw that. Just burn them yourself. You can go to a site. Give me a second here. I found a really good one. I think this is the most redump. Yeah, this is the good one here, because it actually has double switch. People are like, this is the most complete, this is the 100% complete Sega Saturn redump, and it's like, they don't have double switch, no. But go here, download whatever games you want, burn it to disk, and it'll work. But seriously, it's like if you want to own like games like I have, because like you're a collector. Like I said, I like to do the same thing there too. But there's certain games like you will just never afford, like Panzer Dragoon Saga. You know, it's like that's $1,000 is what it's going for the US version. Just to own a game that's probably gonna die from bit rot. It's like just download it and play it, or play it on an emulator. You know. Yeah, exactly. So. About a good 90, I'd say about 85% of my collection is actually Japanese games for the Sega Saturn, and very few games are American, you know, the North American market, but there's lots of different stuff. I mean, there's Deep Fear, which actually had a US prototype. It was fully English. Actually, most of the game's in English to begin with. I have the Japanese version. But it's like Resident Evil, except for you can run and shoot at the same time. It's amazing. It's like they figured it out before Resident Evil 6 did. That's on there. There's fighting games galore. I mean, just anything you can think of, really. There's also translations coming out, too. Like Police Knots, that's been translated. Gosh, what was the Grandia? That got translated recently here, too. All sorts of fun stuff, really. Yep, so get yourself Image Burn. That's another free download. You know, read up, like, watch a YouTube guide on how to burn games. If you haven't done it for the Sega Saturn, it's a little bit different. Just keep in mind, though, it's really kind of weird, is that I have verbatim discs. Verbatim? Let me take a look at one real quick. Verbatim is the only type I can buy right now. What we have here, like Walmart. Or online, really. And for whatever reason, they work just fine for the Sega Saturn. But if I try to burn those discs to play on my PlayStation, because I have a mod PlayStation on that, my PlayStation 1, it won't read the discs. I don't know why. I'll follow everything and go really slow. Verbatim just don't work on it, but they work just fine for Saturn. So if you're in the United States, and you're at Walmart or something, verbatim discs will work just fine. Pardon me, for Sega Saturn burning. Alright, I have not played this game before. I'm gonna give it a go. So I've had it in my collection, I just never played it. Real Bout Fatal Fury Special. Okay, so question you asked earlier, did you play a Japanese Saturn game called Ghost Story? It might have been me. What is it called? Dragon Blank, I need to look at my shelf because I actually have the game up here. I think it's like if you're talking about like the one that's like FMV clips, you're wandering around like a school. That probably was me. Yeah. Gakko no Kwaiden. Yeah, so probably was me. Yeah. Stumbling around with my like terrible Japanese reading comprehension skills and hold your fire, like basically like saying it's this before I could figure it out myself. I'm like, yeah. Thank you again. I still suck at reading. Alright, wow, this has a lot of loading to it. Something tells me this does not really take advantage of the ROM cards. Looking at the back, no, it looks like it doesn't. But the game's in English. Never released in North America. Wasn't supposed to come out. English version. Line feed. The line switch. Okay. Punch kick, power attack. Wow, that's That's some nightmare fuel. I think these loading screens were taken possibly from the Neo Geo CD version.
Body. Round 1. Fight.
Yeah, they're taken from somewhere scared. We don't like to talk about it. Okay. Yeah, so I just hit like forward and the right button, and it treated it like a pause button. So, not sure what's going on. Like I said, this Brook Converter is kind of a little wonky still.
Red body. Round 1. Fight.
And let's go with Android 18.
Round 1. Fight.
Wow, Geese is an asshole. Ooh. It's like, what, cancel your stream? Aw, bummer, man. Just found a huge cut, didn't think of. That's awesome. Okay, I gotta say, this is like really compressed. Like the audio is like super crunchy. What was that thing? Might have been a super, might have been a dog or something, I'm not sure. Well, hopefully, though, Nimix, if you found the cut that's going to be really huge, that's going to be awesome. Oh man, my back is killing me.
Hey, how's it going, dude? And let's begin. Choose your favorite character. Your first opponent is bad. Because
This is actually very... It's kind of close to Real Bout 2. Like I said, I had the Real Bout 2 MVS cart, but... This is my first time actually kind of playing this game. It's really kind of surprising how they changed a lot of the Real Bout games from each game. Or Fatal Fury games, I should say. So for MVS carts, I have... Look there. I have Fatal Fury Special and Real Bout 2.
Round 1. Fight!
Okay, so chain combos are the order of the day in this game, really. So that was removed from Real Bout 2.
Round 2. Fight! Power wave!
Like how the computer can just pull off like a charge move without having to charge.
Power! KO! Final round. Fight! Power wave! Double it again. Power wave! Double it again.
So this game, the playstyle reminds me of like Street Fighter Alpha 1, which also used chain combos, which is quickly abandoned in Street Fighter Alpha 2. Basically like A works into B, works into C, it all links together, so Guilty Gear series is kind of like that too. I guess I'm not sure exactly if it would be officially called like a chain combo system for those games, but it's kind of like along those lines where you can just like link them all together. Actually, I was about to play that in a minute. I was gonna use that as my last game. I actually have that on my shelf. I was like, let's pull it off and play it. I don't think I've ever done that on stream before. Actually, I used to have the PC version of that game way back in the day. Had that, and I had Virtua Fighter, which is another like, which would turn out to be the like the Saturn remix version or the improved version of Virtua Fighter 1, where they, instead of having like, you know, the 30 polygons per character, like they smoothed it out and made it look better. Back we had to work on like trying to get a Sidewinder controller to work for the PC. Enough of that. Listen, my back is really killing me, so we're going to switch over to the last game for the night, which is actually going to be Last Bronx. End up and get that off my shelf. Like I said, I wasn't really planning on streaming tonight, but it's just like I said, my converter came in, so I really wanted to get that going and try that out. It's mostly glitch-free. There's still some problems with it that I'm going to need to research to try to work the kinks out of. Last Bronx was actually a double CD. You have arcade disc, and what's the other one here? Special disc. I'm not sure what the special disc is. But apparently it came with stickers and ooh, a big, looks like a fold-out map, which has like, or a fold-out poster which has all the moves on it. It's been a while since I looked at my disc to see like, what is this? What's in here exactly? Virtua Fighter Remix exists. At this point, you see the 32X version was better than the launch version of the Saturn. Yeah, actually, I have the. It's kind of funny too. Also, speaking of the 32X, I actually have the 32X version of Virtua Fighter. But I got my 32X about 6 years ago, 5, 6 years ago. About 5 years ago, actually, now that I think about it. From my landlord, who just gave it to me. It was back when no one wanted the 32X. It was a piece of crap. We're like, I don't want this stupid thing, get rid of it. And then shortly after, for whatever reason, people were like, dude, the 32X was awesome. We should start collecting for this thing. And it went from, like, you couldn't give away as a doorstop to over $100 again. It's like, I hate the retro market so damn much. None of it makes sense. Alright, Nimix, I will catch you next time. I'm going to be ending my stream not too long. Anyway, so it's all good. Got here. This is an arcade, I'm gonna bet. That's versus, it's flying by because I don't have anything plugged in for it. Arcade. Saturn mode. Survival, I think. Yeah, mode's on the end of everything here, so it looks like time, I think. Watch, this is... I can't remember what that is, probably movie, I'm gonna guess, I have no idea. Watch or something there. This is gonna definitely be options. Brook Converter is basically... It's a device that you can plug in for your different systems that they have available, and you can use any controller in theory on it. So the one I just bought cost me about $55. The Wingman Converter SD. It has basically controller ports for the Sega Saturn and the Dreamcast off of it. And it also has like 240 spaces inside it, like the VMU memory built into the device itself, so you can use it as like a saving, like a VMU. So then, in theory, you should be able to plug in any controller, like any USB controller, into it. It'll work like my fight stick. Like right now, I'm using an Xbox 360 fight stick plugged into it. It also has Bluetooth compatible. So you can basically use like a PlayStation 3, 4, 5 controller. The newer versions of the Xbox One controllers had Bluetooth, not the first ones that came out, but the later revisions had a Bluetooth adapter on there, so you can do wireless. Yeah, and you can use it on Dreamcast or the Sega Saturn. So that's what I'm using right now. I actually do have a fight stick. I have a Virtua Stick for the Sega Saturn, but it's new in box. I don't want to open it up, and it's kind of flimsy inside anyway. The original one I had like many years ago just it broke. I was like, what the hell happened here? And then I looked inside, and it's just like, it's instead of like having a 4-way gate, it's like a 3-way triangle plastic gate, and it's really cheap brittle plastic which snaps. So that's why I've never used it. I just have it like part of my collection in box. So I splurged, spent $55 total to get the Wingman Converter, and I'm testing it out tonight. And there are some weird glitches for it. Like I said, there's no real support for it. You're pretty much on your own to figure it out. I think Joe was the guy with the nunchucks. Hey Joe, what are you doing with that gun in your hand? Because this is a fighting tournament. It's cheating.
Round one. Fight!
This game's kind of like It's like Virtua Fighter and a really early
諦めな
Soul Calibur, Soul Blade. It's just like, it's a little more clunky. And the computer really hits a lot harder than you'll ever hit. It's like you have to be like really deliberate with your moves. If you try to button mash, you're just gonna get destroyed. Just trying to see what this one move is. I don't know.
俺のちラウンドワンファイト
Okay, so sometimes it does a roll, sometimes it does throw move. Okay, so I'm guessing it's a parry? So this game is like shocking how slow you move, unless there's like a turbo. Wow, that's glitchy. Unless there's like a turbo function that I missed somewhere. What's going on? I do have a handy dandy little big thick instruction booklet. Another relic from the past. X, Y, and Z not used. Good to know. Thanks, game. Let's see. So you get double taps, moves. Right. Ground attacks. I think there's ground throws maybe too. That's interesting. Okay. Even goes into the combo system. So they have like sections like breaking down like the entire characters, like here's Joe Inagaki and he's got nunchucks and here's his entire story, he's part of the Soul Crew gang and what type is this? And his pedile length is 18 centimeters and it's like, okay, interesting, but like is there a move list? Nope. That's part of something else that like they gave you, which is like a big humongous like poster that has all the moves on it, which is kind of weird. The Tears Bridge.
Round one fight どうした
Yeah, so occasionally, like I said, the problem I keep running into is I'm not hitting the start button, but it just triggers. I might have to try to see if I can like trigger or do the update again. Okay, so that was down A and C do the roll.
Round 2, fight! 二度と俺の前に姿を見せるな、目障りだ。
It's like Moonlight Shadow? Ooh, that's a good song. But no, Moonlight Garden instead. Yeah, I don't know what it is. So apparently, hitting like the right button, like the RB, like the right bumper, is causing it to happen, the occasional pause. It does, Ryan. I'm trying to think, like, what does that sound like? Ryan, you just nailed that right on the nose, buddy. It does have that feel to it. Lost Subway. Yeah, that's what got Jared in trouble.
Round 1, fight!
I go for a throw, it counters me. Okay, cool. Yeah, don't go in for like a throw. The game just does not care. It's like, we're gonna just counter you.
Round 2, fight!
So another random thought I just had was Scott Pilgrim vs. the World came out again and it got re-released. And I'm laughing because people are finally realizing, oh, this game isn't actually fun or good. Because a lot of people didn't buy it back when it came out, so now they're like, they want to buy it just because it's like lost media for so many years. Because it got delisted. And then they're playing through and they're realizing, like, oh, this game's a chore to play and not really fun to do. And it's like, yeah, I've been saying that for years. It's an overrated game. It's got an amazing soundtrack by Anamanaguchi, and that's about it. Oh, timer scan. You're like, yeah, you knock a person down, it takes forever to pick them up, and you gotta, like, keep grinding to get, like, level 10 before you get any moves that do anything. It's like, yeah, game's not that fun.
Round 1, fight!
I'm trying to see if I can recreate that. It's random. Happened again.
Last Bronx.
No.
Last Bronx. Round one. Fight! Hey!
Yeah, it's really pissing me off here. I don't know what's causing that to happen. I see if I can change the modes to it, see if that works a little better.
Round two. Fight!
Been thinking here as I've been clacking away with my stick all night, like, I probably should turn on the NVIDIA broadcast so you wouldn't hear all the clicking of my sticks. Things you think about at the end of the stream.
Round two. Fight!
Yeah, so the computer hits like a truck in this game in single player. Verse mode's a little bit more fun, because I remember playing this on PC. I want to see somebody pull off that move in real life. That would be awesome to see. But for now, we've reached the end of the stream. My voice is starting to get a little hoarse. I do have chronic laryngitis among other wonderful health problems in my life here, but back's killing me too, most importantly. So I need to give that a rest and get it with a heating pad again. But thanks for hanging out, everybody. I'm sorry I haven't been streaming all week. Like I said, I tweaked my back, so I've been trying to get to heal up before I start my job on Monday. And of course, let's see here. I normally tend to stream usually at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, but that's going to change most likely. I don't know when that's going to drop down to when I start my job on Monday. So keep an eye on my Twitter at Wursel555. Something comes up if I need to cancel stream again, or if I need to change the start times for whatever reason for my new schedule. You will find out there. So of course, shoutouts to Rise, Retro, Nimix with the subscription as well. Good lord, dude, 27 months. You are insane, but I appreciate it. Ronnie, Fico, and I think that's it for everybody who showed up here. Oh no, Hold Your Fire as well. He showed up here earlier too. I'd still be lurking, and anybody else lurking, lurkers are always welcomed. So next time I do stream, maybe might do a Dreamcast stream. I'm not sure. Like I said, I just want to keep still messing around with the Brook Converter. I do want to play some Guilty Gear games, so I might start off just the very first original one and work my way up from there. Because Guilty Gear Strive's going to be coming out pretty soon. I am trash at the Guilty Gear games, but I definitely enjoy playing them regardless. I also want to get back and finish my long playthrough of Nier Automata. I played it originally when it came on the PlayStation 4, loved it. My perfect, amazing game. Playing it through on the PC, which is kind of janky, but I'm having a blast with it. Getting close to Route A being done, but we'll have to see. So keep an eye on my Twitter. I'll let you know then for when the stream will be and what time and place. Is anyone streaming right now? Let's see. Yeah, let's go over to Lord BBH. If you've never seen Lord BBH, he does a really cool. He usually does a lot of retro stuff. So thanks for hanging out. See you guys next time.